So they're never really scary. But this
Ukulele.
guy said that he was shooting with his child's 410 single shot shotgun. Now, because it's a kid's shotgun, that means it's a significantly shorter length of pull. You know what that is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so he aimed below the squirrel to hit the squirrel because the length of pull was affected. And I've been shooting for 25 years. I'm like, I don't think that's a thing. You know, like having to change the trajectory because the length of the pull of the gun is different. It's like, I'm pretty sure you just stick your... Are we live?
Yes.
Thanks for the warning. Pretty sure you just put your beat on the thing and then you fire.
Well, with the shotgun, yeah, that's all you should do. But I could see where,
Well,
depending on how your muscle memory is, if you pull up at the same time, aiming a little bit lower would work.
No, you can't. That's not a repetitive thing you can do. You know, like it all happens so fast. There's no way it could be consistent for you to have that kind of muscle memory. It'd be like, do you know the wheel target? Like when you're they mapped out what was wrong with your shooting, and then they put it on a diagram that showed if you're a right-handed shooter and it goes up and to the right, you don't have enough grip on it, or you're jerking the trigger. Those are your possibilities.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's you can't make it consistent. You can't shoot low left and expect to be hitting bullseyes because your gun is throwing them up into the left. You just can't get consistency out of that. But I was like, I don't think that's a real thing.
No, it probably isn't. But the question is, did he hit the target?
Well, actually, it was a really weird short story because it just had like some. No, it got away or died and was eaten instantly by a ghost or some shit. But the story just happened to be like, he was out there with his kids 410, and he was about 200 yards away from them. They were playing in a park. He was hunting in a swamp in West Tennessee. Pretty sure there aren't swamps in West Tennessee, but what the hell do I know? I don't go out west. But he just he thought he heard his son humming, and he called his wife, and they were definitely 200 yards away. That was the entire story. It's just weird.
Okay.
Nothing came out. All he heard was humming. It's not even like those. There's certain like rakes and things like that where they'll repeat things that have been said by either you or other people in your group. It's just, I heard a humming. Sounded like my son. I'm like, you can distinctly hear your son's humming. I guess you can, because I was once sitting in my my grandma's living room with a bunch of family members, and I distinctly heard a dog noise, like a, and I realized that was my aunt making a dog noise, because it sounded like my aunt making a dog noise. A good dog noise, but still a dog noise. And her husband turned to my grandmother and said, "When did you get a dog? Like, you couldn't hear, like, you couldn't hear your own wife's." What the hell, man?
Maybe he's just used to tuning her out.
It's a possibility. My uncle was kind of flighty. He was flighty as hell. He once jumped a fence to get out of Disneyland, and then thought he could jump the fence to get back in Disneyland.
Yeah, they frown upon that.
Yeah. I'm like, dude, what were you thinking? And he goes, "What?" I'm like, no. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love that we got to visit Disneyland jail for you. But what were you thinking?
Did the mouse cops have to wear the gloves?
That would have been no. They were just they weren't dressed like security. They were just regular people, which means that you're undercover. But there are actual cops in Disney, not cops, but Disneyland cops in uniforms.
Yeah.
But they don't do a lot of stuff. They're all very friendly. Uh, One guy was going around getting autographs from girls in princess dresses because he collects princess dress, or he collects Disney princesses autographs,
Uh-huh.
which is basically like a bullshit thing.
Right.
It's a guy, he's paid to go around in a uniform because I'm pretty sure he's not an actual cop, and he just gets autographs from the girls dressed as Disney princesses.
Not sure what value that adds to anybody, but okay.
It makes the girls think that they are the Disney princesses.
Okay. I'm sure they get plenty of little kids doing the same thing, so.
I don't know. But one of the things was Walt Disney went across the entire country visiting theme parks and not categorizing, but cataloging how long somebody would walk with trash until they dropped it. So he went from theme park to theme park cataloging litter, and he came out with 31 feet. So if you go to Disney World or probably Disneyland, either one, within 30 feet, you will find a trash can anywhere in the park.
I can buy that.
Mm-hmm.
Steven, I don't think the voice actors are walking around the park.
What was that?
Oh, Steven says he gets autographs from the cosplayers rather than the voice actors. Lame.
No, he goes to little girls. Like girls who come to Disneyland dressed as Disney princesses.
Oh, okay.
As if they're the Disney princess.
Gotcha.
Like he's like, I'm supposed to be working right now, but I am a huge fan of yours, Ariel, or whatever.
Right.
Could you please sign my autograph book?
Okay, so that's cute then.
Yeah.
All right, so what are we going to actually talk about tonight?
We could talk about Brexit and piss off our one international viewer with just poor knowledge on the subject.
Maybe if we infuriate him enough,
I think
he'll
that could
actually
be fun.
come on. That would be great.
Face won't come on. The one time I talked to him, he doxed himself like 19 times. Like he couldn't help himself.
Right.
And he was like, yeah, I can't do it. I'm going to dox myself. And I'm like, you won't. You'll be fine. We won't even go live. We'll just have a conversation. And then he names his wife. He names his child. He names 3 of his uncles. He somehow managed to give me his exact address. Whatever the Social Security version of England is, he did that twice. Gave me 6 passwords. He was just awful. For some reason, when he talks to himself, he refers to himself by his whole name. He's just atrocious. It's like, and I said to myself, Aaron Michael Eckhart of 23 Clover Lane, Perth. No, Perth's not Australia. That didn't help me at all right there.
Nope.
But Surrey, there we go. That's in England. Born on whatever. I don't even know what his birthday is. He does a lot better typing than he does talking. I would have got that in the conversation we had.
I think we do know when his birthday is. I thought it was in June.
Is he a summer baby?
I think so. I might be wrong about that, but it did come up at one point.
Oh, I think once he said it was like a week ago. That's like the closest I ever got to it. All right, just for those of you who are here, we have Garrick, who is not here, leaving messages in our group chat trying to get us to stop this hangout and go over to another hangout where he's getting to talk to Matt by posting pictures of who is in the hangout.
Here, I'll bring him over. And
that's how dedicated we are to this. What the fuck, man?
There's the picture that Garrick just sent us.
It reminds me of the time I had yeah, eventually it'll go on here. I had John Apothecary. I think it was Easter, like 2 years ago. He was super drunk and he tried.
Uh-oh. Somehow I lost Jay. Jay, your audio cut out. I don't know if you can still hear me or not, but I'm getting no audio from you. And I can't even tell if he's trying to talk because I'm getting no audio from him whatsoever. So I don't know if his mic cut out or what happened there. Jay, drop out and come back. Or if he is stuck, maybe his internet crashed. Not sure, but we'll go on. I guess we could talk Brexit for as little as I know, other than the national elections there to elect new parliament members was basically a referendum on Brexit 2.0, which the UK populace has decidedly said, get it the fuck done, which hopefully Boris will get it the fuck done. Historic defeat for Labour, who were headed up by communist Jeremy Corbyn. So at least we know that the majority of the people in England aren't fucking retarded. So that's good. Jess Phillips lost her seat, which not sure if that's a good or bad thing. Probably a bad thing. She was less communist and more pragmatic than Jeremy Corbyn, so as long as he's still leading the party and still has his seat, then he can remain to be stupid and continue to alienate people and grow Tories' lead. It'll be interesting to see what happens with the Brexit Party once Brexit actually happens. Whether they just dissolve and fold into the Tories or what. I guess the new fear is, especially if Corbyn's going to go full commie like that, what the Lib Dem party is going to be. I don't know enough about them to say one way or the other than they were hard Remain, which they got BTFO'd in the election because it was a referendum on Brexit 2.0. Other than that, there's not much to cover. We don't live there, and it affects us very little, but we are pulling for them and happy with the outcome. We would have been less happy with Labour winning. We would have been less happy with Lib Debs winning. And now the will of the people might actually be upheld. So that's good. And I've got no notification from Jay Fry as to what's going on. And well, he is on Twitter.
How long have I been booted for?
A while. I covered Brexit pretty much entirely.
Oh, okay. We don't have to go back to that. Uh, I was on a swanky little bitching about Walmart boycott, and then I noticed on the stream that I got booted, and I had to go back to the hangout to see that I was off air. I'm like, well, that was 45 seconds at minimum. Even longer than that because I'm still off air according to the stream. Son of a
Yeah,
bitch.
well, it takes like it's almost a full 30 seconds behind for some reason.
I was like, oh, that sucks.
But you are indeed back and still registering on the OBS, so you're good.
Whoops. So my favorite is the Joe Swenson, who says that you should only be electing females, lost her seat.
Now she was labor, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
all sorts of labor laws. But no, she had a conversation recently where for some people to get ahead, some people have to get left behind, and the people that need to get left behind were white males.
Yeah, she was the MP that was laughing when somebody else brought up men's issues in a committee meeting.
Yeah, probably her, Diane Abbott, Owen Jones.
Owen Jones wasn't a parliament member. I think Owen Jones was just a Guardian reporter. So, which would make him technically still a Guardian reporter.
Until the Guardian wises up.
Yeah, they're not gonna. They are basically Pravda.
But not the problem that we like. Is this going to be another poorly reviewed books? I miss poorly reviewed books. I don't miss that particular day. But I miss poorly reviewed books.
Hey, get your mitts off my food, cat.
Hell, cat.
Dumbass.
Sargon was happy as a clam over all the losses from labor.
Oh man, he's been going apeshit.
Yeah.
And yeah, I agree with him. Pretty much lock, stock, and barrel.
Well, I will be right back. Say something clever for a minute.
I might have blown my clever load already, but okay. Yeah, Sargon is pleased. I haven't seen any videos from Benkula outside the Mad Lads, but I'm sure he's pleased. Although the Scottish Nationalist Party pretty much took all of Scotland, which I'm not sure if that actually means anything because I don't know that they'll ever actually leave the UK. And it's ironic that they are pro-Remain for Brexit and don't want to leave the EU but want to leave the UK. Doesn't make any sort of sense. The Scottish people need to drink more and, fight more and try politics less. I think it'll work out for them better. So I'm not sure what's happening with that. Looks like the Guy Verhofstadt decided that his lunch was eaten as well as a result of the election, and has decided that now a deal is probably in order. We probably need to get on that. So we shall see. When Jay gets back, we'll talk more domestic stuff, I guess. I don't know what else to say about the UK. You back yet?
Coming back to silence.
Yeah, I was going for the poorly reviewed books vibe.
That came up. I just did hear you set your bowl down, though, motherfucker.
No, that was the cat kicking my plate again because he can't leave my food alone.
Actually, we didn't have a lot that happened this week. I was
Um,
amazed that
yeah,
they got 2 hours out of yesterday's stream.
me too.
Uh, what do you think of Matt's stance yesterday?
Which one?
Uh, on, um, I guess taking up arms against the violations to our rights.
I'm with him on principle. I think he's lacking a pragmatic approach to where the line needs to be drawn because somebody will eventually push you to that line and over it if you let them.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I get where he's coming from. You want to maintain your principles for as long as possible, but at some point you're going to have to compromise them for survival and to maintain a better outcome for the most amount of people.
It's straight out of rules for radicals. Hold your opponents to their standard.
Right.
No one wins in the Michelle Obama, they go low, we go high bullshit.
Um, yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. You need to maintain the high ground for as long as possible because that's how we know that you win a fight against a rogue Jedi. But you need to maintain your principles for as long as possible until such point is that the enemy gives you absolutely zero choice but to compromise them. And you only compromise them so long for the period that so long it takes to remove the threat. So when the time comes to actually break your principles, it is no holds barred, take no prisoners, finish the job, correct course, and then re-maintain your standards.
Well, I mean, those standards are there for a reason, and I agree with having standards. But that isn't a civil society with rules and laws. You cannot say respect the Constitution when the Constitution is being thwarted, when it's being disrespected, when it's going out of its way. Right now, the state of Virginia is doing unconstitutional things. They're trying to kill babies after they've been born. They're trying to ban your right to self-defense, and they're silencing you. You cannot stand against that when there are sanctuary cities ignoring laws that are on the books.
Right, but here's the problem. And it's one of those it's a tough question because I'm against sanctuary cities for illegal aliens. However, I'm for sanctuary cities for gun rights.
That's not a sanctuary. That's a law. They should before it goes into effect, it should be challenged by the courts.
Well, that's not the way it works, though. The law goes into effect and then has to be challenged by somebody with a case to bring.
A case to bring against them, yeah.
So, unfortunately, it has to be on the books before it can be questioned. But it's one of those things that technically, and according to my interpretation of the Second Amendment, you cannot infringe the right to keep or bear arms. Period. End of story. Of course, it's unconstitutional. That there's even a debate about it is part of the problem. The way to solve the problem is to unseat the people making those laws. Why has that not happened? Like that fucking governor of theirs, after the baby comment, should have been railroaded out of town.
About the blackface from Northam?
Well, I don't care about
Or
the
about the
blackface.
baby
I mean,
gun?
he's in Virginia. That's gonna happen. He's older than 40 or 50. That's gonna have happened. I don't even give
See,
a shit
I'm a
about that.
racist and I've never worn blackface in my life.
I just don't think it's as big of an offense as that, everybody makes it out to be. I don't care about that. But he basically said, we're going to birth a baby and keep it comfortable before we decide to kill it. That's murder. Plain and simple. And the governor of the state is okay and rationalizing murder of a helpless, innocent life. How is that guy still seated in that job? Is it because the lieutenant governor was worse?
What was his issues? Was he just like raping all the bitches?
I don't remember what that was, but the lieutenant governor is a black guy, and the
Who
Democrats
was?
don't cotton to that very well, especially in Virginia. So I don't know. I think it's just a bunch of bullshit. I want them to try. I actually want them to try. Because there's going to be a absolutely definitive response that's not going to go well for them.
So your team, I wish a motherfucker would.
Pretty much.
Team, fuck around and find out. You're at 11. I am not prepared for the Boogaloo, and I realized that when I dropped a magazine the other day, and realized how far below me the ground was, and it's getting farther every day.
Yeah, but you see, you have magazines, so you're more prepared for the boogaloo than most people are.
I kind of have an arsenal. I have enough of an arsenal that when I see people with arsenals, I kind of laugh at their arsenal. Like, is that 322s right there? That's hilarious.
Still better
That's
than the people that have
adorable.
absolutely nothing.
Mm-hmm. I used to watch that Doomsday Prepper show, and there was this one group that they were vegans, and they had a really nice bunker, like a really solid bunker set up, and a huge greenhouse with tons of food and tons of water, and absolutely no desire to defend it whatsoever. I was like, "Oh, you're not gonna last long." Funny thing about that show is they have experts, and you quote experts because none of them are actual experts. They're just people who've been in the field for a while. Um, like at no point, like they have an electrician, and I'm like, yeah, but shouldn't you have like somebody who's into agriculture or anything like that? But they have like a couple of people, and they grade them on what they perceive to be what you should have, and no matter what they say, like you have too much guns and not enough food. They're like, I believe you're wrong. Like that's not how it works. They're the experts. Like no one ever agrees with the assessment when they're done with it.
Well, if you have too many guns and not enough food, it seems to me you've got a better advantage of getting the food that you need.
Well, you need to have the people too. Because if you're one guy with 35 guns, you're not better off than five guys with 4 guns. You can just hold out longer. It's not going to help you. Uh,
But yeah, I
I
mean,
wore
if
a
you
Michael Jackson Thriller jacket as a kid. I'm considering that blackface. Yeah, that kind of.
no, it just means you're Alfonso Ribeiro.
Steve did just said everyone Hugh Grant endorsed lost. Yeah, that's true.
That's wonderful.
Every single person Hugh Grant endorsed did lose their seat.
Good. I mean, these elites,
Congratulations, Hugh. You're right there with Taylor Swift.
these elites forgot that in order to be a communist, you actually have to have the masses on your side, and they do not.
Vote yourself into communism. You got to shoot your way out of communism.
Very much. You notice that Venezuela isn't making the news anymore. Wonder why that is.
Because all they want to talk about is Trump impeachment. Holy shit. The other day, Don Lemon was just 10 kinds of awful.
He's that on a good day. So I can't even watch the man. He makes me physically angry. Like I want to I mean, there's a couple of people in this world that I just want to wring the life out of. Don Lemon is one of them. Adam Schiff is another. I would just want to squeeze the life out of those useless human beings.
I'm not a fan of Peter Schmuck. I'm like, holy shit. Like, I'm not a big fan of thinking people are evil. That guy's evil.
Yes, he is.
Holy moly. How did he make it into the FBI? Or is it the FBI that corrupted him? Because holy moly.
No, I'm pretty sure he's been a no good Nick his entire goddamn life. You don't develop the ability to smirk like that without just being the most petulant piece of shit from birth.
Like, how do
His
you.
his mother should have killed him early on.
Like, holy lord, I never thought I'd be able to describe somebody as slithery. That shouldn't be a word you describe a human being as.
Yeah.
I said human being.
I don't understand how Lisa Page, how did he work that? I mean, not that she's all that good looking or anything, but she's definitely above his weight class. What the hell?
She said something about releasing her transcripts was illegal. I'm like, let's be clear. You only think it's illegal because you're not a very good lawyer.
Yeah.
You're not even sure it's illegal.
Yeah.
And you know how I know that? Because it was a government phone you used. There is no right to privacy on a third-party device.
Well, but even beyond that, not only is there no right to privacy on a third party device, but it's the government's device. Literally everybody has the right to see what you're doing with a government device. Like you could have some sort of argument if you have a company paid cell phone and you work for a private company. That would be one thing. But this is the government.
Steven, your opinion doesn't count. You bad for the other team.
Yeah, she's not the best looking thing in the world, like I said, but she's, above Stroke's weight class.
That's just because she's breathing. I had fast food tonight, and the chili I had is definitely disagreeing with me.
Wendy's?
No, I had chili cheese fries from Sonic.
Yeah, Sonic disagrees with me in general.
Yeah. I wish I had a gallbladder still. Then I think I'd have a little bit more of a fight on my hands.
Did they take that out?
Yeah, I had gallstones.
Oh, not because you caught a bullet with it?
No, it did. Bullet went nowhere near it. Well, it didn't go anywhere near my appendix either, but they took that out just because they were in there.
Yeah, might as well.
That was what they said. You're like, yeah, it's like a foot and a half of intestine in your appendix. I'm like, I shot my appendix. I'm like, nah, we were in there. Common procedure. And I'm like, makes sense. Like anything else I wasn't using while I was at it? All right. I'm gonna need a list of at least 3 chicks that you think are hot enough to bang. If that's your opinion, Stephen.
Well, it's going to be Loosely Lawless and
Oh, absolutely. Please
Alyssa
love.
Milano
No,
and
no, 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 no. Uh, oh, damn it. Terminator 3. Christina Loken. Christiana Loken. Whatever her name is. Natasha Henstridge. And I have lost the fight against Chile. I'll be right back.
hooray! Meanwhile, we're still 20 minutes from the return of Swampy and or Oki. So, hurrah! So give us that list, Stephen. Um, I'm waiting for Jay to get back for this one, but definitely have to talk about Comey and his 180, and heard a snippet on the way home about Brennan that I'll bring up too. So remind me about that, Stephen. We'll go from there. Um, that's true. She did put on weight. Not a ton. I mean, she's not obese by any means, but she's definitely thicker than when she was looking her best. She was like my first crush when I was like 12. When she was on Who's the Boss and in all the teen mags. That's something teenagers don't have anymore. Magazines. And does Matt know you have these feelings about women, Stephen? And is he okay with it? Let's see what else is in the news. Shannon Elizabeth, quality. Quality. Elijah Dushku? Okay, I guess.
Oh, don't get me started on Laura Vandersloot, whatever her name is.
Vandervoort.
Yeah, I'm
Don't even
watching
know who that is.
new Supergirl. Or no, old
Oh.
Supergirl.
No.
From Smallville days. Not the new one. She's got like a French name or something.
What?
Yeah, she's on. I don't think she's on anymore. I think she died in this episode. She might be on the next episode of. I'm watching Haven, back from 2010. The Sci-Fi Channel TV show
Okay.
about Stephen King, who they always break down so fast into bullshit. Yeah, it's already there. The more Stephen King I watch and read, the less I like Stephen King.
Yeah, he's
Which
not a
doesn't
very
help, but
he's not a likable guy really at all.
I can't blame the TV show on him too much because they're just based on the Colorado Kid, the short story. So literally, it's what Hollywood's doing to Stephen King. but these are all based on Stephen King, and it's pissing me off. Like The Mist, I couldn't get past like most of season one. I just stopped. But Melissa Benoit, that's who's the new Supergirl. She'll be the one teaming up with Ruby Rose Batwoman to look like utter trash. Seriously, I'm watching Sci-Fi Channel Haven right now, and it has better CGI than 2019 Supergirl or whatever. Batwoman, Supergirl, whatever they're called. It's just shit. Queensland. I have to Google this real quick.
Who's that?
Queensland, Australia.
Yeah.
They had a thing. Let me Google it real quick. Say something clever.
Man, why you put me on the spot a lot tonight? What the hell? My clever done gave out in minute one.
Cleverest thing I did was just press live and not tell you.
I was gonna. If you're listening, I can tell you about what I heard about. What do you think about Comey having to do a 180 on everything he said up to this far, and then Brennan said something where he was basically said it was treasonous, but then wouldn't agree with the pundit that he meant that Trump had committed treason, because if he says that, then that becomes slander. He just says, nope, I said it was treasonous, and I mean it was treasonous. I'm like, so you're saying he committed treason? Nope, I'm saying it was treasonous. I'm like, okay. And to her credit, the info babe was like, so if we diagram this sentence, you mean that he's committed treason, and he just wouldn't cop to it because that would be slander, and then he would be liable.
No, but I heard about the interview with Comey, where he said they asked if he would resign if the atrocities that were happening in the FBI were happening. If he was still ahead of the FBI and the things that were happening in the FBI, and he said no, way worse happened when I was running it.
Right, and then nobody followed up with like, "Oh, really? Like what?" Because
what, like Fast and Furious?
Well, not only that, but this technically happened when you were in charge. That's just he is culpable for all of this because he was the guy at the top who let it happen. And nobody bothered to say, "Well, what's worse?"
So, in July of 2018, Queensland passed a law that didn't go into effect until just last week. If you are the primary breadwinner in your home, that is enough of a reason to apply and get a concealed carry permit in Australia.
Okay.
Australia, the land of the gun ban, because that's what they want everybody to know. Australia banned guns after their shooting. They said enough is enough, no more guns. Yeah, you can still get guns.
It's just harder.
And not only can you get guns, if you are the single white male of your house, which makes you the primary provider for your household, you can get a concealed carry permit. So that I found interesting. That just went into effect, though, right before the new year.
Well, good on them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the world is slowly changing away from the progressive era The 20th century, like in totality, it improved a lot of lives, for the masses and changed the paradigm of the world. But I think that we're coming off the drunken high and fixing some of the shit that needs to be fixed by it.
I think it's secular, cycles.
Circular,
Yes.
or a pendulum swinging back and forth.
Basically, yeah. But I think it's an uneven pendulum. Like it swings to the right, then it swings to the left, and then it swings too far to the right, and it goes back to the left, and then it swings too far to the right, and goes back to the left,
You
or
think
almost
it
like a
goes?
roller coaster that the up is conservative and the down is liberal, and it's always a couple feet higher. So yes, it's cyclical, but it's not an even cycle. Like if you look at the conservation of Iraq or Iran back in the 70s, Iraq was just like New York, just a little hairier. They went for moderation, and they're too far moderate now, and they're fighting back. And that's what we got in the 50s. It was, very conservative, and that led to the 60s, which led to the 70s. And then we hit the 80s, and we got Reagan and his landslide in 84, which brought it too far right, because not only did Reagan get reelection, his vice president got elected.
Yeah, but that was a mistake.
Yes, it was. But that got us Clinton. So it went back to the left. And then we went back to the right. And then we went back to the left. And Obama was so freaking left that we got fucking Trump out of the deal.
See, I don't think it.
Literally.
I really don't think it moves that fast. I don't think it's based on presidential tenure at all, really. Because I see very little difference between both Bushes, Clinton. Well, both Bushes and Clinton. Because Obama, you're right. Obama was something wholly different. But Senior, Clinton, and Shrub, that was basically neocon, neoliberal, globalist foundation laying.
Yeah. It was just a swing from the left to the right with Bush. It wasn't anything particularly great. But that's when we got Obama, which brought us up on the left. It's just why we're so far to the right now.
I don't even think we're that far to the right. That's, you know what I'm saying? I mean, the left would have you believe that it's the worst thing since Hitler, but
Well, we are. Trump isn't.
I wouldn't even say
Our current generation, the newest out, their counterculture is conservation, is conservatism, as opposed to, they're not looking for the handout. Most of them, I mean, this is before college education, so these kids aren't dumbed down yet. They're fresh out of high school where they didn't learn enough. And they are saying, maybe, because they don't care about the gays. They're in a generation where they're like, okay, you're gay. Wonderful. I'm not gay. And they're seeing that the gays are being treated special.
Right. Well, the worst thing that happened to the the LGBT movement is that they were successful. It is literally the thing that has diminished their power the most, because everybody was on their side when it was like, okay,
When they were the underdog.
Well, not only were they the underdog, but it was like, yeah, if we're going to be American about things and treat people fairly under the law, there's no reason that you shouldn't have marriage or its equivalent, whatever you want to label it. Who cares?
I was
And
pro equivalent.
right, well, either way, does it matter? I mean, number one, I'm of the mindset of like, what business is of the government who gets married? Period.
Well,
If
that's just it. It is the business of the government. That's why you have to have a marriage license, because they were restricting blacks from marrying whites.
yeah, but that was before even I was born, and I'm old.
Well, it was the 20s, so it was 1921. It's when marriage license became a thing, and it was in New York City.
But yeah, I just you know what? Let people do whatever the hell they want to do and stay out of their business. That's why I'm team. The government should have no bearing in marriage whatsoever. And if you want to try to go get married in the Catholic Church as a gay, good fucking luck.
Yeah. My grandma had to wait for her husband to die before she could date because she followed the laws of her church. She could have got a divorce. It wouldn't have been a real divorce, in the eyes of her church. So she wouldn't have been able to get remarried in the eyes of her church because they hold you to a different standard. Governmental laws only work on earth. She was looking at the long haul.
If you want to go to an Episcopal church, they'll marry you because they don't give a shit.
They'll marry anybody and drink while doing it.
You can probably marry your horse if you needed to, I guess.
Speaking of Shank.
Let's talk about Shank. Because that is endlessly entertaining to me that he's being eaten by his own.
Is this still about the stuff he said 19 years ago when he was edgy and conservative?
Yeah, they're bringing up literally everything they can. Like, it's coming out of the woodwork on this guy.
Shank's not wrong, though, because I've been to Florida a couple times, and you can bat way outside your weight class in Florida. Like, that's probably where Struck got the page at. Steve says Trump has broken the brains of many of his opponents. Yeah, it's weird to see that. Like, people who I respected anyways. Not necessarily liked, but never had a bad thing to say about them as far as their sound judgment went, are just out of their blessed minds. And sadly, my aunt, okay. My lesbian aunt, fucking crazy as a shithouse rat now.
Yeah. Well, Trump derangement syndrome is a real thing, and it is fucking terrifying how people can turn off their logic centers and run so much on emotion against, on pure hatred of an individual that they don't know.
Well, my aunt is a brilliant woman. She's also a very busy woman. So a lot of what she's getting is only headlines and walking by CNN while she's at work. So she doesn't really have the facts. And I'm like, you can't live like this. Like, this can't be you. You are a smart woman. You're one of the smartest women I know. This thinking is absurd. You literally are blaming Trump for putting children in cages. It's not his policy. It wasn't started under him. But will you go after Obama with the same vigor for it?
They did. They did because I mean, the kids in cages thing started in 2014, and it started here in Arizona. We got news locally about it a lot. And people were just like, yeah, this kind of sucks. This doesn't seem right. But there was never the outrage. There was never the blame. There was never any of that. It only applies to Trump because Orange Man bad.
Yeah, and it's like you don't operate a facility. You don't understand how this works. Here's how this works. I have room for 300 kids in my facility. My facility's full. Now what do we do with the kids? You get temporary housing, which in this case happens to have fences instead of actual walls. Because my 300 that I'm allotted for are full. We're goddamn full and they keep coming. Like, we had children appear at the border alone. That filled up the housing. And it's like, if you're an American citizen and you commit a crime, you get taken from your kid, left with the mother or the father if it's a female committing the crime. What do you do if you don't belong in this country and you commit a crime with your child? That's wholly different. Now take a step back and think if it's a completely different crime. What if they're escaping into this country with someone who's not their child? For nefarious purposes.
Sounds
That's the
pretty
thing.
bigoted.
Oh,
Well,
welcome to the freaking show.
Yeah, the problem is the left is they feel more than they think, and they're intentionally uncritical or unskeptic about the things that they feel about.
Mm-hmm.
And then you try to call them out on it and point it out, and they'll attack you.
Yep. I'll be right back.
What, again? So, sir,
Howdy.
how did dinner go?
Went good. Eating cheesecake right now.
Never
It's
not
very
eaten.
non-obtrusive to you, so
Yeah, no, that's true. Of all the things to eat, that one's pretty easy because it's pretty soft.
exactly.
Where'd you go? To the Cheesecake Factory?
Yep.
Sweet. What flavor cheesecake did you get?
Oreo Supreme or something like that.
Okay.
In other words, something that'll probably kill me with diabetes here soon.
Yep. I went to Cheesecake Factory for lunch with a coworker the other day and had to abstain from the cheesecake.
That sucks. Well,
No,
Garrett
it's
was on
fine.
for a second.
Yeah, he'll be back.
Hey. Okay, so fair warning. If my stream suddenly cuts out, we have a rainstorm going on right now, and power might get cut. It happened twice during the stream with or the hangout with Matt.
Okay.
Sounds like a
Yeah.
power flash, not a power loss.
Well, in any case, it flickers for less than a second, but it kills my Wi-Fi for 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So what are we talking about?
Well, they were talking about illegals, border crossing.
More so the fallout and the differences in administration's approaches and blames and who gets blamed for what and who doesn't.
Okie dokie. Did y'all cover Virginia already?
We touched on it. I mean, there's not much to say. I'm team fucking bring it, get it done.
Yeah. Team Big Igloo?
Wish a motherfucker would.
Yep.
Okay. Well, there was that, and what was the other thing I wanted to talk about? I don't
Brexit?
know. I'll think about it.
Brexit.
Yeah, we can talk about Brexit. I don't
Okay.
care much about it, honestly, though.
I've already covered it. If you were here an hour ago instead of big timing us, you would have known that.
All right, smartass.
See, I had a legitimate excuse. I was taking
Yeah.
a lady out to dinner.
You were what?
Doing something that involved the opposite sex, taking them out to dinner.
Oh, congrats! I'm glad that's still going on.
Mm-hmm.
I just dropped the kids off at the pool.
Dropping the Cosby kids off at the pool.
Yeah.
Were they running or slow walking?
They felt like they were running, but it turned out they were slow walking.
That's okay, I guess. Sorry for the plastic bottle. I know that angers Sean and Garrick.
Maybe just a
Fuck that Sean guy. He just had dinner. Like 12 minutes ago.
Did he eat while on the stream?
We could turn it back to the spoon clank hour.
Hey, oh, wait, no. We're done with that. Stop it.
Wait, what the fuck? What's going on now?
Do I even want to know?
No. Particularly.
Not particularly. Okay.
It was just Sean and I got booted from the stream for a minute while going off about the Hallmark boycott.
Oh yeah, we didn't really touch on that.
Oh no, I covered it thoroughly. Y'all fucking missed it.
No, I was there for that bitching. You ranted to me.
No, it's just me and my monitor.
Yeah, I know, but you ranted to me personally over the phone about it.
Oh yeah. You can't boycott something you're not involved in.
Yeah, I can't believe they cucked on that one.
Yeah.
What
I called it as
The alphabet people have too much power.
That's quite the sound effect. We could talk about The Mandalorian if y'all aren't too busy.
Nah.
I didn't watch it.
No.
Jay despises it.
Oh, that's what it was. Movies. Did y'all see that Richard Jewell bombed in the theaters, apparently?
What?
It's not exactly a feel-good story, dude.
Well, I mean, Clint Eastwood has a knack for making good movies. It's funny that he made one that bombed.
Well, critical success or financial success doesn't necessarily mean that it's not a critical success and or still a good or bad movie. It just means people weren't interested in seeing it.
Yeah, I can see that. I've never no one was super geared up to see $1 Million Baby or
I still haven't seen that. Yeah, it grossed $4.68 million.
Well, how much did he spend to make it?
That's what I'm looking for. I don't see it. I don't see a budget.
Because that means chances are it didn't really hurt its budget.
Yeah, I don't see a budget yet. It'll probably come up in a few months.
Because Clint is one of those guys, he's got enough successes and enough not failures to completely do that. To say, look, it's not going to pay for itself right away, but if you give me the time and you give me the money, I'll get you there.
Yeah. Well, it's in the same vein of American Sniper. It's that same kind of biopic kind of thing. You would think if it's kind of, I don't know how I'm trying to word this, but it seems like it would have done at least well.
No one gives a shit about Richard Jewell, though.
Well, that's the thing. I didn't even know who that was until this movie came out.
See, that's why the movie came out, though, is that there's a whole generation of people that don't remember shit like Richard Jewell, Waco, that sort of shit.
Yeah, and it isn't taught to us in schools either.
Alien Gonzalez.
I mean, I'm looking at the lineup. It's got a hell of a cast.
I wonder if they're going to make Mitt Romney the hero of the Olympics. Maybe there'll be some courtroom documents where the defense attorney comes up and goes, "Your Honor, my client, Richard Jewell, is clearly a goddamn moron." And then I'll be like, "Let me talk to your client." They'd be like, "Holy shit, your client's a moron."
Yeah. I think the only other movie I kind of want to see right now is Ford v Ferrari.
Go see it. It's good.
That's right
Oh,
here.
shut up.
Not to mention, you get to hear Henry Ford II call Enzo Ferrari a wop.
Yeah, that makes it worthwhile altogether.
Yeah.
Makes it worth the $20 it's going to cost.
Yeah, Fry should go watch it.
You can't see me, but I'm making the jerking off sign.
I didn't realize you had tweezers that readily available.
Yeah, why wouldn't I? I'm mocking you for this.
Yeah.
I
No,
know.
the only reason I...
Listen, guys,
Mhm.
we really shouldn't be fighting like this on impeachment eve.
Oh my god.
I've got other shit on my mind, dude.
I really don't fucking care. Just make it go away.
I give two fucks about that.
Yeah. Can it just not be a thing? Can people not talk about it for a month and just let it die?
I got a cartoon I want to send you guys just because it fucking infuriates me.
Fantastic.
Sean can post it so everybody can see it. Just fucking pissed.
What the shit did you just find?
How am I gonna get it over there? Oh, I'm gonna take the whole goddamn window. No, don't do that. Do this. Every time I put something over this, though, is when we lose shit. And there we go.
Steven, have you seen the commercial for the new Jumanji? I don't think so.
My coworker went and saw it, and he thinks Kevin Hart and The Rock are like the best comedy team ever.
They are good. They play off of each other well. They're right up there with Reynolds and DeLuise.
Even better than The Rock and Statham?
I don't particularly care for The Rock and Statham.
Okay. Interesting. So I don't get it. Is it that all the kids on the naughty list are Trump supporters?
It's Trump is on a list, and it's for everybody to see, and they're basically calling out Santa, who, as we all know, is a good guy.
Excuse me. Yeah.
I just can't wait for all this bullshit to go away.
It's not.
It's never.
It'll never go away. It'll be here for another
5 years.
5 years.
5 years, fuckers. And then, just because I fucking hate you, I'm voting down Junior in, and I hate legacies.
The only thing that makes me feel good about it is that it's their lamentations. It's not, their wails of whatever. I don't know where I was going with that. It's their misery. It's Schadenfreude.
Your Worthy Day calendar sucks.
My what?
He said it's Schadenfreude. Like, your Word of the Day calendar sucks. Use these words. I do not think they mean what you think they mean.
Hey, the other day it was succinct and I actually found a use for it, so fuck you.
Well, that argument was succinct.
See that? My work calendar works just fine. You guys see the Gundies?
Nope.
The what?
The Gundies.
It's a gun industry reward show
No.
for YouTubers. It's
Mhm.
like, yay, I give 2 fucks why.
I'm gonna check it out just to see who won and why. Hmm.
I really want to put Mossberg furniture or Magpul furniture on Mossberg. After putting that forehand on my 590, I'm really liking it.
Hmm.
I just can't afford it. What the shit,
expensive.
Steve? I'd watch Ed Brasno's De Un Esholio if it was in English. Yeah, I don't think so, Steven. I think we're good here.
He's apparently been watching Telemundo.
Hmm.
There's this horror TV show in Hindi on Netflix, and I'm like, I want to give it a try. I just haven't yet because I'm scared of what could be scary to them. like, like maybe as an American, I'm a sissy. Like, because if you think about it, like, there's some really weird complaints in America that it's just ridiculous. Like they complain about air conditioning being sexist and just it's really weak complaints when you've got people in the third world who are still indentured servitudes and slaves. So I'm like, maybe ghosts aren't particularly scary, and like everywhere else in the world, they're much scarier. But because they're third world hellholes, we don't hear about them. Like for instance, America's got vampires, and they're sexy gothy types who suck blood and are emo. But the Philippines have the Baswang, which which is a vampire that has uh, a mouth like a proboscis, and it inserts itself into pregnant women and sucks out their babies, and leaves a hunger in the woman that can't be satiated, and she eats the entire village that she's a part of. So there's like weird penetration, the eating of a child, and then cannibalism. And I think like the mouth is where the baby's belly was, and it like grows teeth, and it's a horrible thing. So I'm kind of scared as to what might happen if I watch the Hindi version of a horror movie.
Have you talked about Christmas movies that you like?
There is only one Christmas movie that is perfect, and that is A
Lethal
Christmas
Weapon.
Story.
It's what?
A Christmas Story.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Die Hard.
No,
You disappoint me.
no, because Christmas Story is an amazing movie.
I prefer Miracle on 34th Street.
It's a Wonderful Life.
The Christmas Carol.
Which one, though?
Rouged. There's two
Uh,
Miracle on 34th Streets.
the 1976 version.
Oh, I was gonna say the only one that kept Derek entertained, obviously, the Muppet version.
I mean, that one wasn't terrible, but no, it's not the best one.
I mean, it had Michael Caine in it.
So did Jaws 2.
This is true. Didn't he get eaten?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he got eaten.
In a Muppet Christmas Carol?
No, Jaws 2.
Well, I don't know. What did Animal do in
I can see him going up the shelf. Hello, I'm Michael Caine.
Michael Clark?
Okay, if you say my cocaine, you are saying his name in his voice.
Morgan Freeman got on Michael Caine once for not calling himself Sir Michael Caine. Because you always do that. You're not Michael Caine. You're Sir Michael Caine. I'd be telling everybody. I'm like, oh, poor Morgan Freeman.
Oh.
You didn't have that luxury.
Michael Caine.
Oh.
So, anybody seen any good movies lately?
I just saw Ford versus Ferrari. That's been about it.
I heard it's good, but it's long.
That's about 2 hours.
Speaking of the new
Doesn't seem like 2 hours, though.
Michael Bay and Ryan Reynolds movie, Six Underground, is like 2 hours and 3 minutes or something like that.
I started watching Pablo Escobar on Netflix. The problem is it's all in Spanish, so I rely heavily on.
Are you talking about Narcos?
No, Pablo Escobar.
No, I don't think that's the name of it though. I think it's Escobar or something like that.
Is it just Escobar?
I think it's just Escobar.
Because Narcos is pretty much all in Spanish. I enjoyed reading the subtitles because it made me feel immersed.
You know what's annoyingly all in Spanish is a lot of the Dusk Till Dawn TV show.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's what I want in my vampire movies.
Well, to be
Subtitles!
fair, it did take place in Mexico. And parts of Texas.
I'd care more if it wasn't freaking Vilder Bolderama.
And it says Pablo Escobar.
I
Yeah,
sound like
Narcos was good.
I read this book series a while back called Artemis Fowl.
They're making
It's
a
about
movie for that next year.
Yeah. And somebody came out with, they were legitimately upset that Commander Root, one of the main characters, is being played by Judi Dench. When he said it, I was like, that's right. That's some bullshit. And it's not for any of the reasons like you can normally call out bullshit for a woman being replaced by a man or a man being replaced by a woman. Because this character, Holly Short, she is one of like the main things about her is she is the first female captain of the LEP Recon. LEP is Lower Earth Police Association, and she's a recon soldier for them, which is a fairy who lives under the earth because this is a mystical, magical kind of thing. And it's where the term leprechaun comes from. She's a Lower Earth Elements Police recon division, which she goes up to the main world and makes sure they don't find out about the fairies. Well, she's basically not a diversity hire, but she's the first person to break the glass ceiling. And she gets into a situation where she comes up against this evil, brilliant 12-year-old kid. And they have to duke it out, and she ends up getting the best of them while he gets the best of them. And it's a thing. It's a movie series, or it's a book series. So I'm not going to ruin it for you. But the bottom line is, by them casting Judi Dench as her superior, they completely changed the person, the character.
Yep.
Have you read the books?
Nope.
I mean, you got kids, so I can not blame
They're
you.
just getting to the age where they would dig those. Like Jay's just getting to that age, but he's autistic, so what he
Oh,
ends
they're
up reading is
younger.
not well. Yeah, I mean he's into the Dogman books right now, which is fine.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of juvenile coming of age. That's one of my favorite genres, especially with it being paranormal. And those books, they are been out for a decade. So I wasn't as old as I am, and I'm a child at heart. So I think that is important to remember. Uh, but they really fuck with the character in more of a way than a 6'5" Icelandic blonde guy being played by by Tom Cruise affects the character. And the way the guy got called out for it was absolutely SJW/alphabet gayness. And like, he makes a valid point, bitch.
Can we talk about another beloved book series about to come to television?
Okay.
New Mutants.
No, The Witcher.
Hey, that comes out on Friday.
Yeah, I
So
know.
what's the deal? Why isn't Henry Cavill grungy enough?
He's too pretty.
I don't think it's. I don't give two shits about Henry Cavill playing Geralt. What I do care about is
they did your ginger wrong. That's for certain.
yeah, that's the part that really yeah.
What am I missing? I don't.
So there's a sorceress in the series called Triss Marigold. Uh, she's very looked down upon about the sorceress, the witches, and all that sort of stuff, because she kind of sold them out to the emperor.
Oh, that bitch.
Yeah, she was a bitch. So they all went into hiding because of her. But in the books, she's described as fair-skinned and red hair. They cast a black woman to play her.
You know who else is red-haired and fair-skinned? They cast a black woman to play
Ariel.
Starfire. Oh, fuck you! Oh, God, Ariel too. Jesus Christ! Take away the redhead.
I was going to say Starfire.
Yeah, there is
Let's get a
definitely
redhead.
something to the diminishing of redheaded characters.
I'm telling you.
They're taking our GINGERs and replacing them with NIG. Never mind.
Yeah, not your stream. Watch yourself.
I have next Saturday off. I want to buy me a coaxial cable, or no, a fucking phone cord, whatever, an Ethernet cable. That's what I'm getting.
No, I was really upset. Yeah, just Google Triss Marigold.
Well, shit, they put a fucking bunch of diversity hires in A Wrinkle in Time, and they were aliens. I think Miss Whatsits played by like freaking Mindy Kaling, and Mrs. Who is Oprah. Oh, and Charles Murray and his older sister is a redhead, and it's played by a black girl. They diversified the fuck out of A Wrinkle in Time. No wonder it did so poorly. That was a good book.
It was a great book. I loved that book as a kid.
Yeah. I heard oh damn, what's the name of that thing? I can't even remember what I was gonna call it. A Cuisinart. They replaced it with a Cuisinart. Damn, what's it called?
What, the egg thing?
Yeah.
I don't remember what they called it. It's been a long time since I read the books. I remember it looked like an egg.
Yeah, but it was called the oh damn it. Yeah, well.
We all feel old.
Was it Tesseract?
No, they didn't call it the Tesseract.
That's Avengers.
I think it was Tesseract.
No, the Tesseract is in several other things.
Oh.
It's the Avengers borrowed the name Tesseract from other things.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. If I look up.
Oh, I'm beginning to hate Meghan McCain more and more.
Well,
She said now.
yeah.
Yeah, Wrinkle in Time Tesseract.
So, okay, I'm going to share my screen. And let me know if you can see that.
I mean, Storm Reed is cute.
You are not sharing your screen.
I see nothing.
Ah,
You are, in fact, not sharing your screen.
I don't know if I can share my screen. What the fuck? Oh, let me share my screen. All right. Somebody else, see if they can.
No, it's not. It's not clickable. The button is not clickable. It's disabled.
Yep.
Hold on now.
I blame Fry.
Why would you do this to us, Sean?
It's
did I
Fry.
do? Yeah, I was gonna say it's not my hangout.
I can't do it either.
Ah,
It's because it's on air.
It's not really on air, though.
They gimped it.
Yeah, because I still can't mute you fuckers. Here's an interesting thing. Since 1962, A Wrinkle in Time has become one of the most frequently banned or challenged books for multiple reasons.
That's a good thunderclap.
I know, right?
Was that outside?
Yeah.
I was outside, and that was
Nice.
at least 4 miles away.
Yeah. Boy, sounds like Oklahoma.
Well, is Oklahoma ready to get wet?
Whenever I visit.
Come here.
All right. Tell me if it's actually sharing my screen now.
There you go.
Well, you did
Woohoo!
something. Hang on.
All
There
right.
we go.
Yeah. Yeah. This is what pisses me off.
Good. I don't have to do it then.
Good
Click on it. She's not that black.
And
No,
she's
she's,
black enough.
she's very fair skinned, but she is definitely not a ginger.
Yeah. She ain't no fucking gingy. I mean, red hair, cleavage everywhere, by the way. And yes,
Just
great
they
thing.
nailed that part.
She looks more like Yennefer than she does Triss.
I know. That's Yennefer right there.
Right here.
Oh, you guys are fucking nerds.
This is Yennefer.
I don't want to fucking hear it, Fry.
Where are all the sound? That's pretty well timed.
I get pissy when it comes to books, especially because they're described.
Yeah.
like, and when you're remaking something I didn't give a fuck about what was it? House of the Dead. When House of the Dead was made into a god awful movie by U Bull. Thank you for ruining everything. Always U Bull. Who only makes movies for tax purposes, anyways. But yeah, it gets ridiculous. William Levy's in it. I liked him in Resident Evil, the final chapter. He speaks English. Nah, I don't know who William Levy is.
Damn Josh.
What?
Who started the yawn?
Not me. I
Sean?
think I yawned.
Yes, I did.
Damn it, Sean.
Can we all take a minute and feel old because National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation is 30 years old this year?
Hey, I'm 30 years old.
I see that and raise you my Christmas story, which is like 35.
I see
Derek?
that, and I raise you one. Sometimes I wake up in pain after having slept wrong, which makes me old.
You were gonna say something, Josh?
I was just gonna say, don't make me hurt you.
Why?
Christmas story is beloved to me.
Okay, that's your business.
Well, it's because he spent his entire childhood hearing that he'll shoot his eye out.
Well, no, it's not even that. It's the fact that like every year from like the age of 7 to well in my teens, TNT would always do 24 hours of A Christmas Story.
They're still doing it.
Yeah, I know, but I don't have TNT anymore because fuck Ted Turner.
I agree with that, but yeah, that's kind of what we do every Christmas too. Is we'll do the gifts, and then once everybody gets settled in, we just turn it on and leave it on for the rest of the day.
And I put that on and I'd watch it all day. I'd
You know,
watch
I've
it like 4 or 5 times.
I've been to that house.
Have you now? It's
Yes,
in Cleveland, right?
It's in Cleveland. Yep.
What else? I heard that I also saw that they made a god awful sequel to the movie.
Yeah, because no great thing can go untainted.
Yeah. It was made in 2012. Technically, there was another sequel. It was called My Summer Story, which was made in like 1992. And then they did A Christmas Story 2 in 2012. And it had Ralphie as like a teenager. It was god awful and horrible.
Yeah.
From what I saw. I mean,
I
watched the
wouldn't
trailer.
mind.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind like a remake, not a remake, but like a sequel to like.
The Wizard of Oz.
Well, no, because I've seen the sequel. It's way fucked up. I don't know if you know this or not, but Dorothy isn't a hot 18-year-old.
She a cannibal?
No, she's 11.
Oh.
Yeah, in the original book, she's
Yeah, she's like
And
11 or
Lolita.
12 or something.
And in the second book, she's 12. And she escaped from a mental institution because she never shut up about going to Oz in the first place.
Sounds like Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, basically. I mean, yeah, like they're fucked. It's of a time period in league with the Grimms, the Brothers Grimm. Like, it's all happening to kids, and it's bad. But no, like Gremlins 20 years later, like to see the Billy come across a Mogwai in Chinatown and like him like decide how to handle a situation like that, or maybe like ET comes back to an adult, or like things like that where they're so separated from what we loved as a child. Basically it took place with a bunch of kids, and then 25 or whatever years later with the adults. Only,
So, with the 13-year-old
no
sexy?
group sex. No, I said no. God, I hate Stephen King.
Stephen King hates Stephen King.
Stephen King does hate Stephen King.
Yes, he does.
He still defends himself and the state of Maine, but he
You know what else
He-
hates Stephen King?
vans,
Yeah, white vans.
white, less vans.
Thus, everybody's a big fan of white fans.
I know. All right, let's move this off hour. Steven's got to talk some shit, apparently.
All right, I'm probably going to head off to bed, gentlemen.
Yeah, same.
All right, say goodbye,
All right.
everybody. I'm going to push the button.
Good night, everybody.
Good night,
Good
everybody.
night, everybody.